Hi, guys and girlies. It's Shane Cardinal, and we are here with the one, the only Sophie Anderson, one part of the duo Cock Destroyers. Woo! I am so excited to do this interview. She is my very first celebrity interview, and I cannot wait to talk to her. And especially, it's your birthday. Happy
Oh my
birthday.
goodness, babes.
So I have a gift for you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I can't give it to you physically, but I feel like this works for now.
I got it here, babes.
Yes, take it in, take it in.
Yes.
How are you, love?
Well, do you know what, babes? It's so funny. So we have been talking this morning, obviously, and just a quick hello to hi, my guys and girlies and my non-binary friends. Hello.
Yes.
So that's to everyone. So today is so funny. So it's my birthday, and this is what happens to me. So I wake up, I go to the bathroom, turn on the tap, and I've no hot water. So I just said to you, I was like, babe, I don't know if I can do this at the moment because I'm not
like, I'm not looking. I was like, what's funny about that is that I literally was so worried. I was like, she's gonna be in latex and hair, makeup, everything, and I'm gonna be here looking like a foot. I was like, I gotta get hair dye. My hair is faded. I'm gonna talk to her. And it was the exact opposite.
So literally, we were both a bit worried, and now we're here. We're like, and you know what? I came on and you've been so lovely, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm in my daddy jumper. You know, I've got like my socks on.
Yes.
I've lost a nail. You know, my hair is a bit scraggly and greasy. Stuff that I'm not tanned. That's what being a cock destroyer is all about.
Exactly. You wouldn't be a cock destroyer. Exactly. I'm just gonna jump right into it. How's that sound?
Let's go.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. So I wanted to first start off actually with how this even came to be and why I started all this, and hype you up a little bit as if you need any of that. But so back in the day, someone asked me, someone was telling me a story about their life, and I was like, it would be really cool to do interviews with people and talk to people that normally don't have their story told, but also with people that I look up to and have a platform, but hopefully, want to give back and with today's day and age, like before you had to have a publicist and everything was spun by the media. Now everyone has Instagram. Everyone is accessible at almost all times.
Yeah, it's so
and I love
good.
that. So this is hometown highlights, which from my hometown, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but I'm from Marlborough, Massachusetts, which is like the suburbs 45 minutes outside of Boston, but we just say we're from Boston. But so this is me from my hometown highlighting you and your hometown, which I learned in looking you up that there's not a lot about you or your personal life, which is sometimes a good thing, on the internet. So I figured, this is perfect. We're going to meet. She'll get to know me. I'll get to know her.
Yes.
So I wanted to show you also.
Questions.
Yes, absolutely. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And thank you for agreeing, because I've had a hard time landing these interviews, and I'm so thankful that you.
Do you know what the thing is as well, is that I really think at the moment there's kind of a lot of kind of being stuck in your own head, kind of like not really wanting to help, especially with the lockdowns and everything that everybody's gone through this year. It's sometimes you get so wrapped up in your own kind of drama and kind of, just looking at yourself a bit, that you find that you don't really help and support other people. And do you know what? I saw you and I did a little bit of research last night, and I was wow, you seem like really amazing, really super cool. And I was like, do you know what? I don't do like many podcasts or anything like that, but I thought, why not? Do you know what? You were so polite, you were so lovely, and
Thank you.
You know what? Just spending a little time helping each other get the platforms up. I think it's really important. I'm willing to help anyone out, and you just seem super cool, super nice, super supportive of what myself and Rebecca do. And of course, we've got the Slag Wars show coming out.
Yep.
And and I love that. Anyone who's super supportive, I will absolutely help. So it is. I saw you and I was like, yes, I want to do this, babes. Yeah.
Thank you. And honestly, that's perfect, because like that's part of why I wanted to do it. It's everyone, it started quarantine. There was nothing to do. Weird that you say that, because I've noticed on TikTok lately, I don't know if you're on TikTok. I tried to find you, that's why I couldn't find you.
Yeah.
You would be golden on TikTok, girl. But I tried to
so do it.
You should. So I was on there and I noticed that a lot of the way that works and is everyone's talking about interact with this post. If you see something, even if you don't like it, watch the video to the end to boost the algorithm. And everyone on that platform is so lovely with that. They all help each other out and boost small little things. So
tell me, can it be like to people? Because what I find really hard with. So if I don't particularly agree with something online, it's very rare, unless I'm very passionate about it. I won't just go on a post and go, do you know what? I put any negative comment, because I'm very much like that. Even if I've had kind of a bad experience, let's say at a hotel, I'm not really one to go online and going, oh no, I really hate that, all that type of thing. So do you find on TikTok there's quite a lot of negativity there, or is it mainly positivity?
Well, so I just actually started TikTok in the last month, and
oh my God, how are you finding it?
So I'm addicted. I open my app and every time the number goes up, I'm like, so I have like a security camera in my house, and I had a friend over here that was very, very drunk and he puked everywhere. And I guess my reaction was funny enough that over 60,000 people viewed one video. It kind of blew up for random dumb reasons. And I'm sitting here trying to put effort and energy into content, and the stupidest thing blew up. But I've noticed that with the influencers, which I would never want to get to that level and be like, I want to be known and I want to do all this, but influencer is like, it has this like, I don't know, there's the drama and all of those YouTube beauty guru people, they all seem to be in these little cliques and that's sometimes good and it helps boost each other, but sometimes it's I feel like that's where the negativity comes in. Like there's this girl that's getting so much hate online right now from Trisha Paytas, Perez Hilton, all these people. She's a 16-year-old girl.
So I don't know what the dish is on that. I saw little bits online, but to be honest with you, I don't really get involved in bitchiness or just none of that. It's just not for me. So I saw a little bit and I was like, oh, and do you know what? I feel so bad. Like when the shit hits the fan on certain things, and when you're, when you are, let's say, more out there or a celebrity, I just feel so bad, like for the people who are involved, because so there's one thing that I didn't agree with, something last year that Trisha put out, and it was to do with, and it's great. I love having a convo like this, and it was to do with her basically saying that she's a man. And
I remember that.
And for me, I just thought that was a big lie. There were certain things that I saw on that, I support anyone, and I support, I am so with the trans community and, and building people up, and gender, a gender identity or not gender identity with a non-binary. I am so with that. But I just felt it was to get views. And that was just one thing for me. I'd never say anything negative about Trisha, but that really stuck in my heart, like the struggles that, lovely people in the trans community and the non-binary community, the struggles they have to go through. You have to go through all these feelings of like when you're younger and like, oh God, and I felt this as well. Like, I'm not straight. I'm not like everybody else. I have these feelings about women and all those feelings, and then have someone just take the piss a bit. I thought to get views. That was when I felt it wasn't right. So on that, I'll always speak out on that, because I've gone through struggles when I was younger, but nothing compared to if you feel that you're not the right gender or no gender at all. I mean, so that was one thing last year that I did actually comment on, but not in a negative way. Just kind of in a way to go, I don't really agree with this. So
I remember seeing that, and that was one thing I was like, certain things when it comes to trans and LGBT things, and then mental health. Those are the two things that I usually will always put my 2 cents in. If someone's saying something that's just not correct or negative.
Totally. Because at the end of the day, we're actually, like I've said in posts, is the fact is that we need to protect the vulnerable. And there are people in all the different communities that are very strong. Like you know, for the trans community, you got Monroe, and she is so strong. You know, she's out there, she's fighting for the community, you know, but she's fighting for the vulnerable. And this is what we need to do, is realise that us stronger, the people that were like, this isn't happening, mate, you know, it's we need to fight for the more vulnerable, and in all the different communities, because there are people out there who are really struggling. And like you said, with like the mental health side of things as well, is the fact that people are feeling really low this year with the lockdowns. And to also have your kind of mental struggles, your inner turmoils, which we all have, when someone online is then taking the piss out of that just to get views.
Yeah.
I don't agree. Like people, especially with disorders, and you know, like I wouldn't even pin a kind of disorder on myself. I know I have kind of mental issues there, but you know what, I really embrace them. I really embrace it. Like, we all go through things in life, but like I said, if there's stronger people where we've been through and we haven't ended it all, I mean, that's the thing, we've got through, we haven't committed suicide. It's a fact, we've gone through the other side.
Absolutely.
And we're like, fuck, we're still here. And we realise we have to fight for those people who are still going through that, or kind of on the brink of doing something really bad to themselves.
You just gave me goosebumps. That was beautifully spoken, honestly. If you knew, like, so this year, as you said, is very, very difficult for a lot of people. A little bit about myself. My grandmother has had some health issues for the last, since I was in high school, 10 years. But when COVID happened, she was already in a nursing home and getting rehab treatment. And when COVID happened, no one could go visit, and her care kind of stopped, and they weren't really taking care of her there. So she got to the point where she was having seizures and a stroke, and then she was hospitalized and then put on hospice. And in July, she actually passed away. But
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So for honestly, like, when I say it really means the world to me that you agreed to do this, and like, I have been at a low point this year and these last few months. So this, when you said we got to lift each other up, and then you just said all that, I think this was fate that we were to do this.
Yes, totally.
So I want to thank you. I want to backtrack a little bit and talk about you. And I have a little slideshow, and if we experience some technical difficulties, we'll edit that out later.
Don't worry about it.
So I have a little slideshow. Back in, I believe, if my research was correct, back in 2018, you and Rebecca posted this video, and then I want to talk a little bit about the video and you and Rebecca's relationship after. But this is the video that blew you and her up.
Oh, hi guys. Look at these lovely big tits. Do you know what we are?
We're
fucking cock destroyers, aren't we, babe? Fucking destroyers.
Yeah, fucking I love it.
Destroyers. We love to just get your dick and fucking de-spunk them fucking balls.
Like,
do you know what? Rub these fucking balls in our mouths.
Yeah, look at
they
that.
They were fucking teabag.
So that is what blew you guys up. Were you guys doing OnlyFans before that? How long have you known each other before? Like, give me a little bit about you and her's friendship. Like, how did that just come out?
So, do you know what the funniest thing is? So we met, first of all, at a kind of porn awards.
Okay.
So she, honestly, Rebecca was someone I really looked up to in porn. I was on her OnlyFans. I just come in the business, so I've only really been in porn. I've been an escort since I was in the sex industry since I was 16. I then kind of was being an escort until I'm 33 today. So when I was 30, up until I was 30, and then I felt at 30 I needed a change. It was like a mate, because throughout my life, you know, it goes like this, you know. And at that time when I was 30, I was like, do you know what? I can because I always felt pretty low about myself and my body image. And I thought, do you know what? Stop, right? You're 30, and do you know what? You can do this. You can do porn. You can do this. There's a kind of angle that I go for, which is just basically filth, spit, spunk, all the messy kind of dirty
perfect. It's so perfect.
So I was always into that. Always watch that type of war, and watched Rebecca. And when I first saw it, so I was with a client, and he was like, take a look at this woman, and he was on her OnlyFans, and he's like, look at this, look at Rebecca putting a banana up her ass, pulling it out and eating it. I was like, she's like my spirit animal.
My God, literally same. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, she's me. I was like, I'm gonna have to. So anyway, it was a big change for me. And so I met her at the Porn Awards. I was like, we have to get together. Anyway, then Rebecca was looking at some of my stuff. She was like, wow. And one of our close friends says, Ava, she said, this girl can dirty talk. And Rebecca's like, I have to meet her. So she arranged like this porn shoot, like this burglar porn shoot. Anyway, she was like, most of the time she said throughout the shoot, she was just listening to me. And I'm like, yeah, get this, because I'm quite like that. I love the dirty talk. I go just like mental. It's like, when you're like angry and this like red mist comes over.
Okay, I can relate to that.
It's like that.
Because I was going to ask you, how do you watching you, it just is off the tongue. Like you're just going with it the whole time. Like last night I was watching the video. You were sitting there, you were like, she was pretending to eat an apple, and you were like, peeled back the banana, and she was like, oh yeah, can I have some? And you guys were just into it immediately, not a second thought.
I know, and that is the funny thing about it. It's like I've never met anyone like that. And so then, of course, in October, we arranged a gangbang. So we had one morning one evening one, and we've had quite a few as well after that time. But this was the first. It's just funny, isn't it? So this was the first one that we were going to do together. And so we were there, right, so our evening gangbang is totally full, babe. So that's totally full. But we needed 6 more dicks for the morning one. So literally, we were like, right, we need to get something out on Twitter to get these gangbangs full. So that's what the video was all about. It was basically an advertisement to go, right, we want these more dicks, so you better get here, guys. We want that 6 more dicks. Anyway, it just blew up. And then we were kind of like, we went to GAY, we were like on the stage, just
I've only seen videos of that place.
Yeah.
It looks like such a crazy time.
You know what? It was an absolutely amazing time. And then we were doing loads of club events, and we were the Cock Destroyers. And then Rebecca was like, we need to create a business out of this. Then Daddy's Couture came in.
Okay.
It was, which Daddy Couture is absolutely amazing. As you can see, I'm wearing the top.
Yes.
And then we had the family, we had the Daddy Couture family. And then obviously from that is Slag Wars, in which we'll talk more about that later. So this is where it all started. And it's been now, let me think, it's been 2 years. Yep. 2 years of an amazing ride. It just absolutely amazing. And I will be honest, from that time as well, is me and Rebecca's relationship, as you were asking me before, has just really blossomed. Like, I will be honest with you, because of I have certain issues with women. Like, I love to fuck, so that isn't the issue. But where my mum left me when I was 5 years old, I have a real issue with women. And and it's kind of a thing in the back of my head. Like, I think women are going to leave me, and just the kind of fact of being used. And there's kind of few issues when I was younger with my mum, and it was a real difficult time growing up because my sister was 2 years younger than me. And I always love sharing my stories, because if this can help just one more person to think, I'm going through the same issues, So it was a very difficult time when I was younger. I was kind of the mum, and my dad took care of us as much as he could. Bless him. Like, imagine a dad going through kind of all the kind of teenage years of two daughters, not just one. And bless them. But there was, certain times with my mum where she kind of wouldn't show up, or she promised things and it wouldn't happen. I've had real issues with women. Like I said, I love to fuck women, and I'm pansexual and I love it. But I still have real issues with actually making friendships with women and like long-term relationships.
That's where mine is, but the opposite with my dad. It's the same story, but just with not same story, but dad left and I have the same kind of issues. But so that's I totally relate to you on that. That's I love to fuck men, but I can't build a connection with one to save my life.
That is so true. And you realise as well, and I will go back to mine and Rebecca's relationship. It is the fact is when you get older, you start to realise, I don't know if it happens to you, but there's some things that I haven't even thought about before, as in like memories. And suddenly I'll be somewhere and it will come to the front, and I'm like, what is this? Is this something that, and sometimes you think, has that actually happened? Or is this just something else?
That is so crazy. I literally ask my mother all the time, did this happen or did I make that up? And she's like, where would you have made that up? Yes, this happened. I was like, oh.
It's amazing. Like, it's kind of traumas as well that you go through when you're younger, and suddenly they come to you and you're like, wow, this is definitely not something that I need to talk about in therapy, you know? But going back to my Rebecca's relationship, is the fact that I've been hard work. So, you know, it is such a funny thing. So whenever I've got into a relationship, whether it's male or female before, or friendships, there's a statement that I used to say. I don't do it anymore, but it's something I go, right, I just got to tell you now that I am a challenge. It's not something that I do anymore, but it was a kind of thing just to let someone know, going, look, I know that I am a handful. I am a fucking challenge, you know. And and it's one of those cases with me and Rebecca. Like, bless her, I've had growing up to do. You know, in my head as well, I'm a little 17-year-old, and you know, I've got no responsibility. I'm like, you know. So yeah, and I've said to Rebecca, you know, I've had kind of issues, and she's really been, not only are we business partners, but even more than that, we're best friends, but also she's family. And it's very important, because I had a broken family when I was younger. You don't think it affects you, but it really does, and
it creeps in.
Yeah, so true. And you also find you're a bit guarded. Was very, very guarded with Rebecca.
Totally relate.
Kind of broken it down, you know. So it was very, very important for us as well, for us to progress not only in business but also in our kind of family relationship. Is the fact that we needed time. And for us to get to know each other as well, like really properly. And that was another thing about the whole being welcomed into the LGBT community, is I felt quite lonely at the time when I was 30, when I was about 29, 30. And this was before the poor, and I thought, I don't really fit in anywhere. It was so difficult in school with all these kind of sexuality emotions. And, you know, and that's what I try and also do with my son now, is the fact that I want him to be totally you know, not careful, that's totally the wrong word, totally open with me, and free, and feel liberated as he's going through his teens. I think it's very, very, very good, because it can be fucking tough in school, like when you've got all these emotions, but if there's that one person you've got there to support you mentally, and that's exactly what Rebecca's done to me as well, is that I've had days where I do find sometimes I can't even get out of bed. It's very, very difficult. So sometimes I just have those days where literally I have the covers over my head, and I just don't want to get up. And so Rebecca knows on those days when I go totally quiet, she knows I'm having a bad day, because still I have that thing of being quite like, oh, I'm having a bad day, so I don't really want to show this anywhere.
Yeah.
And then what I do after that bad day sometimes, then the next day when I can actually get out of bed, I'll go, right, I'm actually going to put a video out there, like a real help video, you know, even if it's only 2 minutes long, it's a real kind of help video to go, yeah, I haven't been feeling that great actually, or this has happened to me. So I think it's really, really important to actually, maybe not on the day that I'm having a real kind of low day, but the next day to go, actually, I've been through this and I've been feeling shit and not everything's not been okay. But I think it really helps people out there as well. And I really do think that's from that Cock Destroyer video is it, everything blew up, which is absolutely amazing. And being a Cock Destroyer is what is in here, rather than kind of, you know, being any particular you know, gender, sexuality, race. And again, that's what Slag Wars is all about too. There is no restriction.
I love that.
There's no judgment. There's no you know, kind of there's always drama, and there was drama on set,
especially with everyone.
Yeah, totally.
Bunch of gays and girls in days.
So yeah. And it was just so great. But you know what I found as well is, and definitely on the Slag Wars set, that everybody there, whoever they were, whatever gender, race, sexuality, whatever, you know, whatever kind of headspace anybody was in, there was the support there. And that's what I also find with the LGBT community, is the fact that there is support, and it means the absolute world, you know. And it's just a great community to be in. It really, really is. And I'll always support the community, always, which is just absolutely great. Yeah.